You ready? You have your iPad or your books out, your notebooks out. 6-1B. Okay, we're actually getting into the real stuff, right? Yesterday was just a review of Algebra 1, but you needed that in order to do these things that we're going to do coming up. Okay, so today we're going to talk about roots and radicals. Roots and radicals. And let's see, how many parts do I have today? We have A, B, and C. Ooh, we got a lot to do. Wasted lots of time. Okay, first of all, let's talk about roots. And no, I'm not talking about the gray hairs on my head. I'm talking about different kind of roots, mathematical roots. So 5 to the second power is equal to 25. Everyone agrees with that? Even my son now knows that that's true. 5 squared is 25. If 5 squared equals 25, then we say that 5 is a square root. 5 is a square root of 25. Correct, yes. Okay. So, if 5 cubed is equal to 125, then what can we say now? 5 is a cube root, yes. A cube root of 125. 5 is a cube root of 125. Okay, so that brings us to the definition of what a root is. So if A and B are real numbers, that's how I abbreviate real numbers with this big capital R, it's kind of weird. If those are real numbers and n is a positive integer, then we can say that, oh, Cam, why don't you put the iPad away and pay attention? Yeah, good job. We can say that, oh, and you're on the video, so if you watch this later, you'll be like, hey, Dad, shout out. All right. We can say that A to the n equals B, then A is an nth root. Sounds kind of funny, huh? Square root, cube root, fourth root, fifth root. A would be an nth root of B. That's by definition. Okay? And we showed it here. 5 squared is 25, so 5 is a square root. 5 cubed is 125. 5 is a cube root of 125, so on and so forth. All right, now, here this gets a little tricky. Okay? 2 to the 4th is 16. And negative 2 to the 4th is also 16. So we can say that 2 and negative 2 are both fourth roots. They are fourth roots of 16. Okay? They're fourth roots of 16. Now, I'm not talking about doing the symbol, you know, that radical symbol. We're not there yet. We're just talking out loud. And so 2 and negative 2 are both fourth roots of 16. Now, we're just doing real numbers also, okay? So if we had something like x to the 4th equals negative 16, we're not going to worry about that. So that's nice. No i's, no imaginary, no complex, okay? So we would say that this has no fourth root. Like there's no such root, okay? X is not real. And then we don't worry about it. We just skip it. All right. Also, negative 5 to the 3rd power is negative 125. So we would say that negative 5 is a cube root of negative 125. All right. So doing all of those and seeing that if it's a cube root, a fourth root, odd, even, negatives, positive, all that stuff, this is what you're going to have. Here's the type of number that you have. And if your number is positive or negative, then certain things are going to be true. If n is even, and your number is positive, the type of number that you're doing, you will have two answers. Okay? Like negative 2 to the 4th is 16 and positive 2 to the 4th is 16. You have two answers. Now, if it's equal to a negative, like what root gives me negative 16? We're going to have 0. 0 answers. Now, if we're taking a cube root or a 5th root or a 7th root even, and n is odd, you will have one for positive numbers and one for negative numbers, and that's it. All right, so here we go. We are going to do our first example, number 1. There's going to be like the first ones that you get in your homework. So we're going to find all the real roots. Okay, no imaginaries, no complex, no i's at all. Just find all the real roots, and we'll do 2 types. Letter A, we're going to do cube roots. Okay, so n is going to be odd here because 3 is cube, it's an odd number. And we're going to find all the cube roots of 27.008 and negative 1,000. Okay? So what we're looking for are numbers that we multiply it times itself 3 times because it's cube roots to give me these numbers. Okay? 2 of them are easy, one's hard. So what's the first one? 3. Perfect. The cube root of 27 is 3. 3 times 3 times 3 gives us 27. How about the next one? Yeah? What is it? 0.2. 0.2. Let's test that. If you're not sure of yourself, you know that the cube root of 8 is 2. Most of you know that. So 0.2 to the 3rd power is 0.008. Perfect. Good job. That's the hard one, huh? And then what about negative 1,000?
Negative 10.
Good. Yes, negative 10. Great job. Okay? Now, did you notice all of those had one answer? One answer. It's a cube root. N is odd. And so I get one answer if my number is either positive or negative. Now, let's do, it's going to get a little tougher. Let's do 4th roots. 4th roots, okay? So that's an even. So here we go. Let's do the 4th roots of 1. 4th root of negative 10,000. And the 4th root of, it's all right, 16 over 81. It happens. That's fun. Okay. Here we go. All right, what's the 4th root of 1? Yes, you got it? Very good. Did you hear that? He's a low talker, but I heard it. Yes. Oh, and you didn't? You sit right in front of him. Well, you got that hood on. You got earphones on under there? 1, I know. 1 and negative 1. 2 answers. Okay? We're thinking of a number raised to the 4th power to give us 1. That's going to give us 2 answers. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. And negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1. Yeah.
Is this just something you know, or is this like...
Yeah, I'm going to give you a symbol in a minute, and then that'll be a lot easier. So right now we're just kind of like trying to guess almost and talk about it. Yeah. Okay, how about negative 10,000? We're looking for real roots. This one has none. There's no solution to this one. Look at our chart. If our number is negative and our nth power, our nth root is even, we get 0 answers. 0 of them. So no answer there. How about this one? This one you got to break it down. There's kind of like 2 parts here. We have 16 and we have 81. Do you know any numbers that multiply 4 times to give us 16? 2. 2. And how about 81? 3. But don't forget, negative 2/3 also works. 2 answers to that. Okay, so for these 4th roots, you're either going to have 2 answers or no answer. All right, that's the first part. Now I'm going to help you out because we're going to get our calculators out, and this is going to be a lot better. So go ahead and get your calculator out. And now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about radicals. Okay? And I'm going to introduce you to a symbol that you already know. What were you saying? You cool? All right, so So your calculator's out, and you can take any root you want to of any, well, yeah, we're doing real numbers, so your calculator will do it. And so what happens is, instead of just saying, what's the fourth root, like using words, they actually give you a symbol. And here's the symbol, and you know it, right? You saw the symbol. I wonder when they gave you the symbol. 6th grade, 7th grade maybe, some of you? I don't know. All right, this is called a radical sign. This number in here, there's going to be a number in there. When there's no number, it's automatically what? 2. Okay? So, N is called the index, and A is called, now this is a fun word, it's called the radicand.
Oh.
I know, isn't that fun? You don't need to know that, but it's just fun to say. Radicand. And then that's the radical symbol. Okay, now when you take this symbol and you put this into effect, you're not just saying, what's the fourth root? What's the square root? What happens is this symbol only gives you one answer. Did you hear that? Okay? It's called the principal root. Principal root. And the principal root only gives you the positive answer. The positive root. So all of a sudden, all of those problems that had 2 answers, they're only going to have 1 now when you put the radical symbol. It's confusing. It is. Like if I ask you what's the fourth root of 16, you would tell me 2 and -2. But as soon as I do this, the answer is only just 2. It gets rid of the other answer. Weird, right? So if we're talking in words, there's 2 answers. But if I draw the symbol, it gives you 1 principal root. That's it. Yeah?
So if we write that out, we don't got to write the second answer.
Right. If it's written like this, there's only 1 answer. And you know that, right? Like, what's the square root of 49? Are you going to tell me it's 7 and -7? No. You're going to tell me that answer is 7. Okay? So you know that. All right. So let's do some. Are you ready? Your calculator can handle these too. So what are we on? Number 2? Number 2. It says find each real root. Find the real root. And there's only going to be either 1 answer or no answers for these. So here we go. The cube root of 64. Now don't shout it out. Let's see if you know these. And then that's the other question was, are you supposed to just know these? You don't have to just know them. There's a button on your calculator that'll do them for you. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Let's find it. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So go to your calculator. Go ahead and turn it on. And if you hit math, math is going to give you some things over here. And we're going to use number 4 and number 5 today. Number 4 is the cube root. And number 5, what's that?
Which one do we get?
Math. Number 5 is any root we want. We can tell them what x is going to be. So if I want the cube root, I'm going to press number 4, and I want to find the cube root of 64. My answer is 4. So you don't have to guess or test or anything. So like remember when we were doing the cube root of 0.008? You could have done that. Math, cube root, 0.008, and it would have given you 0.2. All right, let's try another one. B. How about the square root of 81? Super easy, right? You know this. You feel good. You're going to feel good today. Square root of 81 is 9. 9. How about the fourth root of 81? Some of you guys know your cube roots, your fourth roots. You're pretty quick on these. Okay? If you don't, you can use your calculator. Okay? I want the fourth root. Now the problem is after you get past square root and cube root, you have to tell your calculator the 4. So you have to put 4 in first, then go to math and choose number 5. What it'll do for you is it'll tell you, your calculator, or you're telling your calculator, take the fourth root of 81, which is 3. Did you know that already? We've already done that one today. 3. All right, letter D. How about the cube root of -27? Now here's the thing. You're allowed to take the cube root of a negative number when we're talking about real numbers. You can. You got it? What is it? -3. And your calculator will do that for you. Okay? So math number 4, cube root of -27 is -3. And some of you don't even need your calculator for this. You got it, right? -3 times -3 times -3 gives you -27. Now, if we want to take the square root of -100. Yes? Okay, find the real root. Would you be right? No. Okay? This one has no solution. Remember the square root of -100? Whose girlfriend was that? It was someone's girlfriend. She's a perfect 10, but she's imaginary. Ah. Okay. Anyways, all right. One more. And then we'll get to our last part. Letter F. How about the 4th root of -16? Find the real root of that. You can't. Okay? This one, no solution. So anytime this number is even, if there's no number there, it's automatically 2. And the number inside is negative, we're not doing any imaginary stuff. We're just saying no real root. Okay? All right, last part. Letter C. Now, we're going to do some radicals. And we're going to introduce some variables. Okay? Now what happens is, when you take the square root of a variable, you're supposed to put absolute values around the variable to say that it's going to be positive. We're going to make it easy on you, and we're not going to require absolute value. We're going to assume that all variables are positive. Okay? So if you see an answer in your book that has absolute value symbols around it, that's technically the correct way to do it, but we're going to make it a little bit easier on you and say you don't need them. All right? Don't feel like you're getting gypped. You're not. You're still doing hard stuff. Okay. Number, what are we on, 3? All right, we're going to simplify the radical expressions. And I'm going to throw in some variables into these radicals. And we've done this a little bit so far. So here we go. Letter A. The square root of 9x to the 6th. Square root of 9x to the 6th. And I think you did this in Algebra 1. Yeah. You got it, don't you? You're good? All right, I'll go ahead and do it. So the square root of 9, do that part first. Square root of 9 is 3. And now how do you take the square root of x to the 6th? There's an easy way to do this. What you do is there's a little pretend 2 right here. And you just go 2 divides into 6 3 times. Why would I want to do divide? Well, because x to the 6th is x cubed times x cubed, right? There's 2 of them. So, yeah, we're trying to find its perfect square. So just take 2 and divide it into 6, and you'll get 3. And that's how they work all the time with exponents. So let's try another one. And we're doing easy ones today. We'll get harder like as we go along, but all right, let's do the cube root of 8 a cubed b to the 6th. Okay? Now, don't take 3 and divide it into 8, though. Take the cube root of 8. So the numbers work differently than exponents. So the cube root of 8 is what? We've done this one already? 2. Perfect. Now, with the exponents, you want to just divide the index into your exponents. So 3 goes into 3 how many times? Once. And 3 goes into 6 twice. And that's your answer. What you're saying here is 2ab squared cubed is equal to that stuff in there. Is that true? Cube the 2, cube the a, cube the b squared. It's true. But it's just an easy way just to divide into there. I'm going to let you try one. You're welcome. Try this one. Let's do the square root of 25 x to the 4th y to the 10th. You try this one. And don't shout it out. Just try it quietly. Okay, without shouting out, who thinks they know the answer? Who's got this? I won't call on you. I won't call on you. Yeah? Okay? All right. You want to say it together? 5x squared y to the 5th. Yay! Now, are you wondering, are all of these going to go in evenly?
Yeah.
Today they do. Today. They don't usually. But for right now, we're going to take this easy. We're going to go nice and slow. Last one. How about the 4th root of, hold on a sec. The calculator's calling. When's the quiz on this? Next Friday, yeah. 10,000 x to the 4th y to the 16th. All right, last one. These are fun. Oh, you want to know when the quiz is because you're good at these and you want to like show your abilities? No, okay, no, not at all. All right. 10,000 x to the 4th y to the 16th. If you need to use your calculator to do the 4th root of 10,000, that's fine. Your calculator will do that. It won't do the variables for you. Are you sleeping? It's hard to get back in, huh?
Why does it say 10,000 and
10,000? Oh, no, that's a 0. Oh, man, that's so ugly. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's not working. It's a 10,000! Sorry, I yelled. I'm sorry. Okay, 4th root of 10,000 is 10. 4 goes into 4 one time. By the way, you don't need the 1, but it's not wrong if you put it there. And 4 goes into 16 4 times. Who got that? The video, about 20 kids got that. It's really good. Okay, here we go.